What's up, guys? So I wanted to show you how I track my meals in instances when I eat out. So this morning, my partner called me and asked whether I was interested in going on a double date with his friend and girlfriend. I want to show you guys exactly how you can still stay on track and hit your macros and still eat out and have a social life. So basically, because my partner knows that I count macros, they were pretty easy on where we eat. So I chose Nando's for dinner. I actually wanted Guzman to start with, but there is no Guzman around where we are wanting to watch a movie. So I chose Nando's because Nando's actually has their full nutritional breakdown on their website, and they list exactly what macros are in each of their meals. So way easy for me to track. Basically what I did this morning, checked out the menu, checked out the macros, and entered that into MyFitnessPal for my fourth meal, and I worked the rest of my day around it. So basically still hitting my macros on point today, even though I am eating out. So this is the Nando's website. As you can see at the top here, it's got the menu. So I've clicked that and I've clicked the Queensland menu because that's where I am located. And then if you scroll down, you'll see all the menu items, and it tells you the kilojoule content. So in Australia it's kilojoules, not calories. However, I still count calories rather than kilojoules. Okay, so going down, I'll click on the one that I've actually decided to get, which is what I always order because I love the classic pita. So if I click on that one, I'll just come in closer. So if I click on that one, it has got the whole macro breakdown for me. So it even tells me how many grams it is, if I wanted to weigh it, which I'm not going to, the calories, the protein, fats, carbs. So that is my main worry. So I've entered that into MyFitnessPal and worked the rest of my day around it.
Yeah, I said put a whole bucket on there if you got it.
So if you're dieting or you're on comp prep, just make sure you always check out the website if you know exactly where you're eating, because you will find that most places in Australia now will have their macronutrients listed on their websites. Not always the macronutrients, sometimes just the calories, but at the end of the day, calories in versus calories out is probably the most significant thing that will impact your progress. I don't normally eat out as often during my comp prep, just because I like to rule out any room for error, but being this far out from comp, I don't hesitate if I do have events coming up. I still eat out because I'm able to track it this way. But sometimes you might find that some places don't have their calories or macronutrients listed on their website, and in those instances I will show you exactly what to do, because I'm also going out for breakfast with my hubby on Sunday. So and the cafe there does not have their calories or their macronutrients listed on their website, but I won a $40 voucher, so I am not letting that go to waste. I will show you exactly what I do in that instance on Sunday morning. So I'll see you then. Good morning guys, it is Sunday today, the 3rd of July. So I will be going out for breakfast this morning to Suburban Cafe, who does not have their nutritional info on their website. So I am going to show you what I do in that instance. Yeah, so stay tuned. If you're wondering, it's just another onesie. I stole it from my mum because it's so warm. I'll show you if I can get it on my head. Oh, it's a unicorn. Okay, so the first thing that I do if I know where I am going to eat out is look at the menu to see what my options will be. So I've already looked through this, and looking at the menu, I've decided to go with the loaded brekkie bagel because I can break that down and easily work out the macronutrients for it. Whereas with other stuff like zucchini fritters, for instance, it's a little bit harder because I'm not sure how much of each ingredient would go into that. Whereas the loaded brekkie bagel will show me exactly how much of each ingredient is on the bagel. Next thing that I do is either look at their Facebook page or Instagram to see if they have any photos of the food that I have decided to go with. So I found the brekkie bagel here. So this is actually my photo. That's how I won the voucher. So I have had this bagel before, but regardless, this is how I do it. So got the brekkie bagel there. So from that, I can kind of see how much of each ingredient they put on there. So that way I can go onto my MyFitnessPal and work out the macronutrients for this meal. So I would be showing you guys on my phone, but I'm using my phone to record. But I do have the MyFitnessPal app on my phone, but this is basically what I've done. So I've worked out just from looking at it how much of each ingredient is in there. So when you're eating out and you're ordering, for instance, a burger or anything like that, make sure that you enter it separately like I've done here, because if you search for a beef burger, the macronutrients will be they vary quite a lot from burger to burger, so it's not going to be as accurate as it would be if you enter the ingredients all yourself. Half of my bagel. So way more than what I thought. Alright Alrighty guys, so we are back from breakfast. It was more like a lunch because it ended up being at 12 o'clock. But I still consider it breakfast, breaking the fast. I'm already back in my onesie, straight into that because comfort. So as you would have seen in the video, that I actually brought my scales with me to breakfast. I don't normally bring my scales with me, but if I am on comp prep, I am a little bit more strict, and if it's stuff that I don't normally eat, so bagels for instance, I don't know how much they weigh just by looking at them. So I ended up weighing out my bagel and the Swiss cheese, whereas the rest of the stuff I'm pretty good at guesstimating. But I'm glad I did because the bagel ended up being 120 grams, and I think I factored in 100 grams, but at the time I thought that I had only factored in 30 grams. So I ended up giving half of my bagel to the hubby, which I regret because I totally could have eaten the whole thing. But anyway, I wanted to show you guys the difference in what I worked out before I left and how much it actually ended up being after I ate the meal. So this is the macronutrients, as you can see on the bottom, that I worked out for this meal, and then this is after we went for breakfast. I adjusted it. I just did it on the one page so I could show you guys the difference. So you can see for me just guesstimating into actual fact how much it was, I was actually really close. So ended up being 46 carbs instead of 59. So I actually ended up having a smaller bagel than I had planned. So up here I put 98, but I ended up only eating half of it, which was 70 grams. So carbs are a lot lower, fats were the same, so 22 fats, and then protein was really close as well. So I had 37 grams of protein instead of the 34 that I thought it would have. So as you saw from those two differing macronutrient ratios, you can see that I was really close in my guesstimate. I have been flexible dieting and counting macronutrients and weighing my food for like 2 or 3 years now. So when you become consistent in it, it does become a lot easier to guesstimate. That is probably why I've had a pretty good off season. So in my off season I didn't count my macros because I can basically just look at the food and know how much I'm eating anyway. But yeah, you learn that by being consistent. It doesn't, obviously at the start it might seem like it's very hard to flexible diet, but you become accustomed and you learn on the fly. So basically after I finished brekkie, I just adjusted the macros based on what I had that morning, and then I work the rest of my day around it. If I'm eating out more so at night time or lunch, it's a little bit harder to do that because you obviously eat before that, so it's a lot harder to adjust your day to suit around that meal. But you can still guesstimate, and if you happen to go over a little bit, you can always adjust your next day. So I don't like to do that too often, so sometimes if I do feel a little bit more hungry one day, I might borrow or more like steal macros from my following day and then just have that much less the following day. I adjust it straight away on my MyFitnessPal so that I still stick to my macros. If you found this video useful, make sure you